Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Well, hello, Heidi. How you doing?
Super. How are you?
Oh, I'm awesome. I got some fun stuff to talk about on the program today. We got, let me think, what should we talk about? Meeting somebody at a family reunion. That's
what?
Yeah, interesting stuff. Talking about things like heavy sleepers and crashing cars into the foot of their bed.
Okay.
And we'll start out in China. How's that sound?
All right.
A man in China was recently detained for stealing instant lottery tickets worth $6,500. The suspect was caught with more than 3,000 scratch-off tickets in his possession. Only half of the tickets had been scratched. Here's my question. When they're saying the value of the tickets, he had 3,000 of them, right?
Right.
And they say they're worth $6,500.
Okay.
That's how much it cost to buy them, or that's how much they would have won with those tickets? Because if there was one in there, even if it was a winner for $2, it could be worth...
That's how much it costs to buy them, I'm assuming. That's the value of...
He had them half scratched. That means the other half were not scratched. What happens to those tickets then? Do they get thrown in evidence somewhere? Or
Probably in
Does somebody get to scratch him off just to see if he would have won? Could that be at his trial? If you'd gotten away, you would have won $2 million. And I think what they should do is, when it is time for him to be sentenced, what they should do is they should have like 3 or 4 different sentences and have them all put onto a lottery ticket, and then he scratches off his face.
One. That's funny.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be very cool. That's fitting.
Right. The jury came back. Here's your lottery ticket. Which one of these fates will you have? Again, it was a man in China.
And all of them are the same. Anyway.
Was in China. His penalty really could be death. I'm just saying. That's probably 3 of the 4 choices would be that, at least. Again, he had 3,000 scratch-off tickets. I wonder... It says a man in China, so this was in China. So they have the lottery in China?
Well, they must.
Now, their alphabet, isn't that like 900 characters? I wonder how many numbers they have.
I have no
Would
idea.
their numbers, they'd be the same. It'd still be 10 numbers, right?
I have no idea.
I'm just, right now I'm thinking, math. I'm pretty sure it's just 10 numbers.
Maybe that's how they found it. Maybe each lottery ticket is like a block long, so it was pretty easy to track when he had 3,000 of them dragging behind him.
Because even if you're, I don't speak Chinese. I speak a little Spanish, poquito, tiny bit. I mean, I remember like 18 words from when I was in school. But even though they're called different things, they still only have, 1 through 10. It's not like they have other numbers too. Well, we have like 11 and 12, but
they have other letters.
That's what I'm saying. So I think pretty sure that the number. This is not.
I don't
helping.
know. We're putting too much thought into this.
All right. Thanks for listening to a Tuesday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVWheelator.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Interesting news here. The body that regulates internet addresses is checking to see if it can crack down on a Canadian company accused of using the new .sucks domain to extract exorbitant sums from celebrities and companies seeking to protect their brands publicly. First of all, why do we even have a .sucks?
Who would want a
I don't know. ICANN, that's who's in charge of all of the internet domains, and that stands for Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, ICANN.
Okay.
Last Thursday, they sent a letter to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission and Canada's Office of Consumer Affairs to see if there's any action for the company Vox Pulpy Registry Ltd. and see if they're legal. ICANN initially approved of the so-called top-level domain name among nearly 600. It is recently added to expand beyond common names like .com, .org, .us. But it's backtracking after an advisory panel made up of industry groups and companies like Microsoft and Verizon and eBay have complained last month because they have now like Microsoft.sucks.
So when you say .sucks, is it like SUX or
SUCKS?
Who would want that as a domain name?
I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. But there's a company that said, hey, we think this is the next big thing. But the problem is...
That web address sucks.
It does.
I wouldn't want that.
This domain .sucks.
Yeah.
Is the whole problem is I think that there's nothing positive that could come from this.
No.
So right now they are trying to decide, should we let this stay or should we give them the thumbs down?
I have an idea, though.
What's that?
Maybe that's where all of the porn sites should be.
No, that's terrible. Oh.
Well, clear up the good channels for everybody else.
How about you keep your ideas until we're off the air? Yeah, that anyway, .sucks. We should probably see if anybody has John and Heidi show .sucks.
Maybe we should just go ahead and buy that now so that we can regulate what's on there.
Pretty sure. It's a Tuesday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday. Do you want a big family? Meet and marry someone at a family reunion. What?
What?
Yeah. A study by the Journal of Science.
Isn't that illegal?
A study by the Journal of Science found that if you want a large family, marry a distant relative. Distant relative. Icelandic researchers examined the nation's genetic records going back over 200 years. They found that people who married their third or fourth cousin had more children than couples who were more distantly related. They think that it might be that distant cousins are more biologically compatible, but they found no advantages in marrying your first cousin. or your
I'm
sister,
not even going to say
or
anything.
your brother. Yeah, there's some disadvantages to all that. But so there you go. If you want a big family, you're supposed to meet them at the family reunion. So who's that handsome fellow over there?
Oh my God. I can't even imagine.
Third cousin.
The thought of going to a family reunion to try to pick somebody up.
There you
That's
go.
a little twisted.
That's
to
a little
me.
weird. But, if you're married to a relative, I'm not saying that's, I'm not trying to knock what you're doing.
I am.
I'm
Freaking weird.
It's weird to us, but there are other people that's probably fine,
Yeah.
Think about
To each his own.
Icelandic researchers, so this is all over the world. It's not just here.
I mean, really, if you think about it, we're all related because
Exactly.
of Adam and Eve. They created everybody, so
we're
all related.
So in a way,
some more distantly than others.
Even though
apparently.
you are my wife, we're probably like 488 cousins too. Now, is that weird?
Maybe that's why we only have 2 kids.
I thought you looked familiar. All right, thanks for listening on a Tuesday.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if you or someone you know stutters, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. 800-992-9392.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Good news, everyone. I should come running in from the other room to share this. Good news. It's not breaking news, but it is cool. Imagine a world where eating chocolate makes you look younger.
I eat lots of chocolate.
Stop the presses. According to the Huffington Post, that dream could be a reality. Lysotech, a UK-based company with research ties to Cambridge University, they've created something called Esthechoc. It's a 70% dark chocolate, and research says it is so potent that just one 7.5 gram piece of this chocolate packs the same antioxidant punch as 100 grams of regular dark chocolate, or 300 grams of Alaskan salmon.
Wow.
Thinking of the total. Remember those commercials? You need to eat 15 bowls of...
Finally, a study that was worthwhile.
Yeah.
I'm totally behind this particular study.
You'd have to eat 300 Alaskan salmon for one tiny bite of this fabulous Esthechoc.
I wonder if it's any good, though.
Creators say... Well, it's got the word chalk in it. That makes it sound disgusting, but it's short for chocolate.
Right.
Creators say that in a clinical trial of 50 to 60-year-olds, eating a piece of Esthechoc a day over 3 to 4 weeks boosted their blood supply to their skin,
Wow.
as well as reduced inflammation And they added that in terms of skin biomarkers, we found that it brought skin back to the levels of a 20 or 30-year-old.
Wow.
We need to try some of this stuff.
Where can we get this?
Some of this chemical-based chocolate. Because
I'm going to Google that.
I'm sure it's nothing but good for you.
Esthechoc.
It sounds wholesome and whatnot.
Esthechoc.sucks.
I'll spell it for you in case anybody else wants to. Esthechoc. So it's probably not Esthechoc. It's probably like Esthechoc. Esthechoc. I think I threw too many O's in there. I'll try that again.
It popped right up, though, when I started to type it.
You would never think that spelling would be this hard. Esthechoc. I keep putting the O there. HOC. I'm going to just quit. If you really want it, you'll find it. Esthechoc? How would you say it?
I don't know.
Are you on the website right now?
I am looking for it, yes.
Would you just
I think
it?
this is a fantastic idea. I love this idea. And it popped right up when I started to type it in Google. So if you just start typing Esta,
it's the first thing that comes up.
It just pops
Boom.
Right up. Where can I buy it? So
is that what it said first thing?
Yeah, Esthechoc chocolate. Where to buy? So apparently everybody's curious.
So this company will come out with their big report will be, this year we created this fabulous chocolate and we also got sued for false advertising.
I know I want some. I don't care where I have to go. If I have to fly to England to get it, I will go get it.
Would you eat it every day even if it was awful? If it tasted terrible?
No, but if it tastes like chocolate.
So would you eat it if you found out? I'm just saying, let me because we already went this far. Would you eat it if you found out that it was made with something really disgusting like ground up
if it tasted
grasshopper
good,
feet
yes,
or something?
I would.
So you'd still eat it?
If it tasted good, why not? If it's good, why wouldn't you eat it?
I don't know. This is just an interesting thing. So I guess we'll find out. And Heidi's Googling it now. We'll see. Maybe they'll be the new sponsor of our Scoop of the Day. We'll see.
That'd be awesome.
The Scoop of the Day is on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Time now for the Scoop of the Day, brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. If you'd like to go and shave like a billionaire, do the executive level. That's the one that I do. I love it. $9 a month. They deliver them right to my door. And we just signed Heidi up for one so she can get rid of that hairy upper lip over there. So, just no,
nice.
You keep trying to use my razors on your legs. Have you shaved with them already or have you not?
I have.
Okay, because how many times have I asked you not to?
Many.
How many times have you ignored me?
Many more.
Well, if you'd like to check it out, it's not just for men, it's for ladies too. dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Go check it out. And our Scoop of the Day. We're getting close to your sexy time of the year, ladies. Did you know there was such a thing?
Is that summertime?
You're
supposed to be walking around with no clothes on.
A survey found women feel their sexiest during the summer. The happiest time of the year for 83% of women is between June and August. Sunshine is credited for bringing out the smiles.
I agree.
Number one reason for people to fail on their diet is simply people get tired of dieting, according to About.com's dieting survey. 40% said they get tired of dieting. 22% said the diet didn't really allow their favorite foods. 21% said their diet was too restrictive. And I say, I just like to eat.
Did they really need a study for that? Isn't that the reason that everybody quits a diet? They get sick of dieting?
Probably. And I guess I also say I have no willpower. That's another one.
Exactly.
A study by Britain's University of Durham found that the key to happiness is to be self-employed. Gotta ask you, Heidi, how's that working out so far?
Oh, yeah. There are days.
We are self-employed. I think it's pretty much because nobody would hire us. So. On average, entrepreneurs do work longer hours than corporate employees. They do make less money, and they worry more about the future. However, that is more than offset by their independence, their flexibility of hours, and their time spent with family. So they gave greater job satisfaction and are less likely to want to retire in their 60s. I remember at one point,
I would actually agree with that. With the whole, the positives offset the negatives.
Oh, yeah.
I would agree with that completely.
At the end of the day, I think it's a good way to go. If it's something you can do. Moving along here to some knuckleheads. A couple of men escaped in a car after robbing a convenience store. Police were soon in pursuit, but they had difficulty catching up with the high-speed suspects. However, they were able to keep the suspects in sight. The chase lasted about 10 minutes, and suddenly it was all over. The suspects had turned down a one-way street and crashed their car into a set of gates at the end of a dead-end road. Bizarre as it may seem, these guys are very fortunate for these wrong-way dead-end robbers. They crashed into the gate of the state prison.
That is hilarious.
The two men were apprehended and later charged with armed robbery and numerous other charges related to the chase and crash. Each man is now serving a prison term in the very same state prison that they crashed into during their getaway.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Another one, quick story here. A bungling armed raider threatened a bank teller with a pistol in Bordeaux, France, and demanded $13,700. When the teller said, I don't have that much, the bank said, okay, fine, then give me $6,800. When the clerk again refused, the robber asked to withdraw a small amount of cash from his own account. The teller asked for his identity card. Police captured him at his home right afterwards.
Huh.
So he came in wanting to rob the place, and they're like, oh, we don't have that kind of cash on it. He's like, fine, I'll just take a deposit from a withdrawal from my account. Here's my info.
Huh.
That was not very smart. If he was going to do that, he probably should have left the robbery out of the whole thing. And our strange law. We're going to end in Louisiana this time. In Louisiana, it is against the law to gargle in public.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Against the law.
I wonder why that is.
Somebody doesn't like gargling, apparently, and they have
must have been one guy who did it like every day, and
I don't know.
It really made everybody mad.
Like, would you just quit it? That should be illegal. Hey, I have an idea. Call Cousin Alfred. Isn't he one of those lawmaking dudes? So there you go. In Louisiana, it is against the law to gargle in public. I don't see a big epidemic of gargling in public where we live. Do you?
I never see that, and
I
I don't believe it's a law.
I can tell you, a month or so ago, when I was going through my really weird voice thing, my voice went away for like a month. I'm pretty sure Heidi had like a, what do you call those things? A voodoo doll. And she was doing something to it. And she's like, hey, I actually get to talk.
You know what? I have something to share.
What is that?
I found Esthechoc.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that a little while ago.
Yep. It's chocolate that makes you look younger if you eat it.
Okay. This is their claim, not ours.
Their claim. Right.
And you found it?
I found it. $49.90 for a box.
For how big a box?
Doesn't look like a very big box.
Are you going to order some so we can try it? I'm pretty sure that's
Probably
a tax write-off.
Not at that price. Probably not at that price. I mean, I'm all for looking younger, but...
Hey, send them a message and let them know we're going to talk about it on the radio. Maybe they'll just ship you something.
It says in every box you will find 21 chocolates.
Oh, there you go.
So 21 chocolates for $50.
That's like $2 a chocolate.
That is insane.
A little over $2 a chocolate.
That's insane.
I am not good at math.
We're not doing that.
Well, I have a feeling she's going to have those. Maybe a little...
Maybe once it's available here and you don't have to pre-order it.
Maybe it'll be a late Mother's Day gift or something. But you're gonna end up some of that. All right, thanks for listening. That has been.
Saying I need chocolate to look younger?
No, I'm saying that you want to try it, and I
do want to try it. But if I like it and it does work, then you have to buy it every single month, and that's not even a full month's supply.
What's that? A weekend? It was 21 pieces. Yeah, we were set till Tuesday. Wait, today is Tuesday. Well, I guess we're set. All right, this has been your Scoop of the Day, brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Shave for $1 a month, $2 shipping. So for $3 a month, they'll ship them right to your door. You can learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Time now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the telephone. We call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
Is it another Tuesday already?
It
is.
It seems like we just did this like yesterday.
It's like the gift that keeps on giving.
You sure we didn't do this earlier today?
Kind of seems like maybe. I don't know. Well, did you have a nice weekend? Did you have a nice Mother's Day, all that stuff?
Well, I'm nobody's mother, but yeah, I had a good time.
But you have a mother, and you're married to a mother.
Yeah.
You guys
yes,
did something?
I am.
You did something nice?
Well, I always do something nice.
All right. Well, you're just the kind of guy that does that.
They went to my brother's house.
I'm a nice guy.
There you go. Well, what kind of stuff are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Okay, today is bathroom day.
Bathroom day?
Everything is about the bathroom.
Okay.
Isn't every Tuesday that we talk to you bathroom day?
No, everything goes down the toilet on Tuesday.
Okay.
So we might as well start it off right.
All right. What do you have for us?
Okay, Americans spend an average of 2 weeks a year on the toilet.
2 weeks a year?
Really?
I do that in a month.
I was going to say, that seems a little low to me.
Well, there again, see, we're above average.
I like to do a little reading while I'm in there. So.
So does Taylor, our daughter. My gosh, she goes in the bathroom. She's in there for like an hour and a half. It's like, what are you doing?
And you just said that on the radio, and she'll probably kill you now.
Hey, then, did you know that 1 in 5 people have accidentally dropped a cell phone in the toilet?
Oh,
I can see that.
That would be bad.
I've never done
Probably
it. But
more than that.
yeah, I can see that happening. It's about happened to me before where I bend over, it's in my pocket, and it about falls in, and
Kick
If
it
it
like
falls
a
in, you
hacky-sack
just
into
flush
the
her
tub.
down there.
it's gone. If it falls in, it's gone. I'm not
It's gone.
even.
Call the plumber or the stool plug.
Sure did like that phone at one point.
Hey, then, did you know some Singapore elevators feature urine detectors that will lock the doors shut and alert police if someone tries to pee inside them?
Why are people peeing in the elevators in Singapore? What is going
You
on
gotta
there?
go. You gotta go, man. I'm kidding. Hurry up, get the 5th floor. Or stop.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, I would do that if I had to.
That's disgusting.
Get
And
them
you shared
cameras
that on
out
the
there. Yeah. So trust me, don't get in the elevator with me.
Especially if you're in Singapore.
Hey, the dirtiest place in a public restroom.
Behind the
Is the-
toilet.
Nope, it's a sanitary napkin dispenser and the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Toilet seats are actually among the cleanest spots in a public restroom.
They get cleaned a lot. That's why.
So there you go.
Huh.
Oh, then, hey, here's something. The stall closest to the door is likely to be the cleanest
I knew that.
and least used seat in the public restroom.
The
Yeah,
one
the cleanest-
closest to the door.
But I
Closest
bet
to the
that's
door.
not the case anymore because I've heard that many times, and so now I bet everybody is using the first one. So if they do that study over again, I bet they're going to find some different results.
After today, there'll be a lot of different results.
Yeah.
No, that's the only stall I'll ever use now.
And the stall in the middle is usually the dirtiest.
Yeah.
Really?
So go clear at the end.
There you go.
You might have to walk a little bit, but go clear at the end.
How big is this bathroom? Can't remember where I parked.
Okay, then I got one last thing here for you.
All right, what's that?
After its invention, toilet paper wasn't immediately popular. People were too ashamed to ask for it in the drugstores.
What did they do before toilet paper?
Well, but they weren't embarrassed to wipe their butts with a corn cob.
Yeah.
Ew.
And the Sears catalog.
Yes,
That's
that's
what
why
the-
they always came out with the Sears catalog.
Yep. And people would grab a stack of them. That's what they'd use.
Ew.
Dual purpose use.
There you
read
go.
It, read it and then do your thing.
And I'll tell you, funny thing is, I have a younger brother that still will not buy toilet paper. He doesn't like, he goes in like at 2 a.m. to buy toilet paper. Like, you don't think other people do that too?
They got rows and rows and rows of it. Somebody's buying it.
I know. It's not a bad thing. Well, I got a question for you here, Charlie.
I got an answer.
What percentage of people will play hooky from work one day this summer to have fun in the sun, according to a survey?
100.
What percentage?
What percentage of people will go out and they'll take a day off work, they'll pretend to be sick to go play in the sun and have fun? What percentage?
Yeah, I'm going to say around 32.
Ooh, you're not doing bad at all. 44%.
Damn, I was close.
44%.
My guess was a little high. I said 100.
Well, the good news is Matt is going to win no matter what. So thank you so much for sending that in. And I've got something I just wanted to share just because I thought this was kind of funny. In Brooklyn, New York, a 38-year-old man was arrested and his arsenal of guns were seized when he was spotted in a city park taking target practice shots as a photo of his mother-in-law.
Whoa.
So he was in a city park shooting at photos of his mother-in-law, and he was arrested for that. I just wanted to share that because you're my father-in-law. I would never do that to you.
How about your mother-in-law?
No, she's pretty good too. I just thought
You
that
don't
was
have
funny.
a gun, do you?
What's that?
You don't have a gun, do you?
I got a couple of them.
You don't. Fluff does.
No, I'd borrow one of her guns. No, I have my own stuff, Charlie. Well, it was nice talking to you. You have a great week, sir. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Actually, we'll get to see him this weekend. He's coming for Troy's graduation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You get to see me like 2 times this weekend.
I know. That's crazy.
That is amazing.
Boy, that's your lucky day.
We're so lucky.
We are indeed.
Good.
Well, we'll see you then. Have a
Bye,
good day,
Daddy.
Charlie.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Hi, it's Jewel and Kelly Pickler. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of women. So we've joined the American Lung Association's Lung Force because it's going to take a force of women to create new hope. Please join us. Fight lung cancer in women at lungforce.org.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Today's a very special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Today is Tuesday. It's the 12th day of May. It's International Awareness Day for Chronic Immunological and Neurological Diseases.
All right.
That took up the whole page, so I don't have anything else. No, I do have a few more things. International Nurses Day. International.
That's nice.
It is. Very nice. International Limerick Day.
Okay.
I like limericks. International. No, I'm sorry. Not international. This is only national. National Nutty Fudge Day.
Nutty Fudge.
Nutty Fudge Day.
I like Nutty Fudge.
It is also, it doesn't say national or international. It just says odometer day.
Okay.
So that it's a day to celebrate
What a
that
random
thing. I know.
day
That thing
to
that's
celebrate.
under your speedometer, the odometer to tell how far you've driven.
Huh.
Today is the day to celebrate that.
All righty.
So there you go. I have to ask.
Party hard.
Am I the only one that's ever taken a photo of my odometer? Like it was at a certain, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm like, look at that. Heidi, look at that. She's like, just shut
You
up.
should just drive.
So I'm like, I'm going to pull over and take a picture. She's
Yeah,
like, you are
it's
such a
ridiculous.
moron. So I've done it. Am I the only one? I think that's kind of cool. So today is a day to celebrate everything odometer-y, I guess. In Modesto, California, a man was arrested for trying to hold up a bank without a weapon.
What was he trying? What did
He
he
used
do?
his thumb and his finger.
Oh, my
and pretended,
gosh.
But he forgot to put it in his pocket. He was holding it. He was holding it down by his side. And they're like, you don't have a gun. He's like, I have it right here. They're like, that's just your thumb and your finger.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Imagine he would still get the same charge for attempted
Right.
bank robbery. So he could go to jail with people who really did rob banks. How embarrassing would that be? So what are you in for? Well, I was trying to rob a bank. Oh, how'd they catch you? Well, I didn't really have a gun.
weapon.
I was just doing this.
I suppose he was nervous when he walked in there. He wasn't thinking straight.
Yeah.
You know.
What did I forget? Oh, yeah. To put my hand in my pocket. At least pretend you have a gun.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday. It's the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVRealtor.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
How often do you get to combine travel luggage and trash collecting? I mean, these don't happen in the same story very often,
Not
right?
usually, no.
Well, a man in Great Britain who had just returned from his vacation was filing a suit after a garbage collector destroyed his luggage worth over $3,000. Had a bunch of variable valuables inside. The garbage collector thought the bag was garbage. Phil Newborn said he left his baggage on the pavement in front of his home to talk with some friends. When he turned around and walked back, he was shocked to see that his bag was being crushed by grinders inside of a garbage truck.
Okay, I'm sorry, but if it's garbage day and you leave your bag sitting out
By the
where
garbage.
the garbage is, they're
Yeah.
going to pick it up.
Newborn said his bag contained clothes, his mobile phone, a GPS unit, digital cameras, and gifts that he bought for his family and friends.
Well, it's his own fault.
You shouldn't have left it sit there.
No.
I mean, you just shouldn't have. What?
He's probably going to win. This poor guy just doing his job is probably going to get in all kinds of trouble, and he'll probably lose his job because...
And here's the sad thing: if it really was garbage and he had just skipped it, then he'd be in trouble for just not doing his job.
Right.
So I feel bad for the garbage man.
I do too.
So there you go.
That's wrong.
Thank you so much for listening. I do appreciate you tuning in to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Would you consider yourself a heavy sleeper or a light sleeper?
I'm a very light sleeper.
A light sleeper. Am I a heavy sleeper or a
You're
light
a heavy sleeper.
What does that mean?
I mean, you don't wake up for anything. It doesn't matter what's going on. You
I don't think that's
wake
the
up.
case.
That is the case.
No, I've woken up before. It's usually when you're shaking me. You're like, hey, jumping on the bed. Hey, what's going on? I've been trying to wake you for 8 minutes.
Yeah, no, you don't wake up easily at all.
It's
Not
because
at all.
I wait till I'm exhausted before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then when I go to sleep, there's nothing waking me up. This lady might be in the same boat as me. She slept through a car crash that ended at the foot of her bed.
I think you'd probably wake up for that.
I would hope so. We
Yeah.
have a two-story home. If there's a car crash
that makes
ends
it
at
to our
the foot
bedroom.
of our bed, that was one amazing car crash. How'd you get on the second floor?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I've got a story here from Deary, New Hampshire, where Joanne, there's a young lady there, Joanne Donovan, she's a heavy sleeper, and her husband's not. They were sleeping when a speeding car drove through a neighbor's yard, hit a knoll. What is a knoll? Is that like a hump?
I have no idea. Yeah, I think so, because the
in-
grassy knoll.
Yeah, so I think that's like a hump.
Yeah.
So it hit a knoll,
It's a hill.
vaulted into the air, and then crashed down into their home. In fact, the car ended up landing in their bedroom, coming to a rest
Yikes.
about a foot from their bed. Of course, her husband woke up. He smelled the exhaust blowing right in his face, and he felt sheetrock that buried him up to his head.
Oh my gosh.
And he looked over at his wife, and he had to shake her to wake her up. And they had...
Can you imagine how awful that would be? You're sound asleep, and all of a sudden a car crashes through your home.
They had a car in their bedroom.
Man.
And she's sleeping right through it. It's like, hey, you want to wake
Yeah,
up?
I don't know how you would sleep through that. Unless
Yeah,
you
that
took
is-
some sort of a muscle relaxer or something before
Even
bed.
that. How potent must that stuff be? I don't think I'd sleep through that. You say I'm a pretty sound sleeper. I don't think I could
you'd sleep through that. No.
No way. So there
I
you
don't
go.
know anybody who would sleep through that.
That happened in Deary, New Hampshire. It's just a fun town to say. Deary.
It is. We were in a movie called Deary.
I wonder if it's Derry. Derry.
Derry?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Dairy.
It's not such a fun name to say. All
Maybe
right.
it's just Dury.
Dury. It's somewhere up there in New Hampshire. That's just south of Old Hampshire, I think. We're just glad you're awake to hear the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if you or someone you know stutters, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. 800-992-9392.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Ever since video games were invented, we've been hearing that these violent video games are going to rot the minds of our youth, right?
Yes.
Do you believe this? Do you
know
think that's
what?
the case?
With some of them, I do. Yes.
Well, here's the question. Do violent video games really cause people to become violent? It seems hard to believe, but research now says that people who play violent video games online actually feel relaxed afterwards. Develop Magazine surveyed 292 World of Warcraft players between the ages of 12 and 83. First thing, there are 83-year-olds playing World of Warcraft? Really? I don't play those, and I'm not 83.
I am not familiar with that game, so I can't have an opinion either way.
I don't play any video games.
Yeah.
Pac-Man once in a while when I can scrounge up a quarter. So.
The only one that I think is dangerous all the way around is Grand Theft Auto.
Well, let's see what they have to say on here. They say 292 World of Warcraft players between the ages of 12 and 83, they found that they were more likely to feel calm or tired after playing a round of the game. However, the results were pretty much dependent on the personality type. If you're a high-strung type before playing, you're still going to be a little amped up afterwards as well. However, they did say the study disproves the theory that violent video games make peaceful people violent. So what they're saying is it's an amplifier.
Oh, well, yeah.
If you're a peaceful person, when you're done, you're like, oh, that was kind of fun. Now I'm going to go do something peaceful. But if you're a violent person, it's only going to amplify
Exactly.
the violence.
That I agree with.
So that's what they're saying. And
Yeah.
I think that makes...
I agree.
And
Yeah.
I think there are so many things like that. You know, you go to a movie. I don't know if you've ever gone to a movie and then afterwards you're just inspired to do something. You know, I went to the movie. What was the movie called? The one, Social Networking.
I don't know. Whatever.
And left that movie and I was like, man, I want to go build a website. You know, it was a movie about Facebook. And I was like, what a cool movie. I want to go build a website. And then I watched the one with Steve Jobs, the Apple, you know, the whatever that company. It was called Jobs, and it was about the Apple company. And I was like, man, I want to go buy an iPhone. So maybe that's not what I was thinking. But,
no, that's not what you were thinking.
but it was an inspiring movie. It was really interesting. So, you know, there are things where, you know, I think, but I don't think it would change me completely. So again, I don't know. I don't really play video games. I get violent after just playing a game of Pac-Man. I'm like, dang you, Blinky. Okay, you're banned from the arcade again for a month. Why? Banging on my Pac-Man game. Haven't quite worked up to the World of Warcraft. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday. It's the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVRealtor.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
When I say the word art, what does it make you think of? Art.
Artwork, pictures.
Apparently, art is whatever you want it to be, Heidi. British sculptor Elizabeth Wright commissioned 4 mechanics to dismantle a van, carry the pieces into a living room, and then reassemble the van, and later called it art.
It's just a van.
The 35-year-old Wright says, all my work is to do with the everyday. I'm using everyday objects. Somehow, through repositioning or remaking them, I explore their meaning and how we classify objects.
That's all well and good, but did they do something different to the van other than just put it back together and put it inside?
They took it apart. They carried it
So
through a
then
doorway.
when it was outside, was it art?
No, because it was on the wrong side of a doorway, Heidi.
Okay.
Come on. What are you, nuts? It was just a van outside. Once you carry it through the doorway, it's art.
I get it.
Therefore, the story we had earlier where that car crashed through somebody's living room,
that was just art.
She was just providing them with
That's
some
right.
artwork.
That was nice.
So art. I do think art is awesome. And I my favorite type of art is the type of art where you can look at it and see one thing, and I look at it and see something else.
Yeah, me too.
And I think the greatest artist ever to exist is God himself. You look at the clouds, and you can see, I see images when I look at the clouds. I'm like, look at that. That looks like a puppy. And this one over here, this one here, look at that. It looks like a cloud. But, I think it's really cool. Artwork where you can look at it and see one thing, and I can look at the same exact thing and see something else. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That is just awesome
cool
to me. So there you go. Art. How do you like your art? What is your favorite kind of art? Is there something that you'd say, that's my favorite right there?
As far as like what kind of artwork?
Kind of artwork, yeah.
I like abstract.
So would that be kind of what is the stuff that I was just talking about? Is that abstract?
You're talking about clouds. I don't know
No,
what the heck you were talking
artwork,
about.
like stuff where you look at it and I see one thing and you see something else. What is that? Is that abstract?
Well, mine is mostly just kind of shapes, and I guess if you want to see something in it, you can. But I just like the
What do you
very
see when
bold.
you look at it? You see a big red circle.
Yeah, exactly. I really like just the bold shapes. I don't know why.
What does it mean
but I
to
do.
you?
I don't know.
It means the circle is red.
And for some reason, I really like circles.
I noticed this.
Yeah, I have circles everywhere in our house.
Why?
I don't know.
You have me walking in circles.
It's a circle of life, honey. It's
Sure
a
it
circle
is.
of life.
All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Interesting story over here. A couple of men quoted Bible verses from memory to raise money for a charity. And the charity was a benefit for the earthquake recovery in the Asian nation of Nepal.
Right.
So, according to the Christian poet Tom Meyer and Jason Nightingale, and they're from Word Sower International, they began a marathon where they memorized, reciting different Bible verses, and it started at noon on Wednesday of last week and concluded the same time on Thursday of last week. So it was a 24-hour marathon. I'm not sure how that raised money. Do you have to pay? You pay them to recite these? The event was held at Shasta Bible College in Redding, California. It was live streamed by the academic institution. They said 100% of the funds go to Nepal, and donations can be made at wordsower.org. WORDSOWER.org. How do they make money? You just make donations. You're like, hey, good job memorizing stuff. Gonna make donations.
I don't have any idea.
Because, like, if you watch a spelling bee, 100% of the proceeds of this spelling bee are going to go to Nepal. How do you make proceeds in a spelling bee? And I'm just wondering, how would these guys make proceeds in this?
Advertisers?
I have no idea. No clue. It was last week, so I didn't get this in time to actually go check it out. So
I don't know.
But I don't understand how that's a fundraiser. Do you?
No,
Do
I
you,
don't.
can you think of a way? Maybe they get so much donated for every verse they had memorized, kind of like jump rope for heart.
Yeah, maybe that's what they do.
And there was a thing where I'm trying to think of what show that was on, where somebody had made a donation and then they found out that it was per mile, and it was I'm trying to think what it was. There's a sitcom where somebody made a donation and they're like, that was really nice of you, and then they found out later that it was per mile. Like, whoa, I thought it was $20 period. It was $20 per mile, and the kid just kept running. I don't remember what was that on.
I
Do you
don't remember either. I
do you remember
it now that you say that.
Yeah,
though.
I
Was
thought
it
that
Seinfeld?
that could have been. I just thought it was really funny. They were trying to be nice. Oh, yeah, $20. Like, oh, seriously? Everybody else is putting like $1, $2. What's wrong with these people? That was $20 per mile. How far can this kid run? All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I hope you had a good day today. I had a good day. Did you have a good day?
I had a very good day. Thank
And
you.
The nice thing is, there's more of it. We're not done yet. We got a lot of great stuff on the way.
And we get to come back tomorrow.
Yes, we do. And for those of you listening on the podcast, we have the world-famous bonus break coming your way.
World famous.
Yeah, and if you've not yet had a chance to tune into the important stuff that we share, Sprecher.com is where we have our podcast, and it's under the John and Heidi Show. Or you could probably just Google most worthless podcast ever. I'm pretty sure you'd find it there as well. Although there's people listening to it. I appreciate you who are listening.
Absolutely.
It has been really kind of a neat thing. So if you want to check that out. But we appreciate you tuning in to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Wow, with an introduction like that, I feel like we got to
We got to step it up quite a bit now
Yeah, all right.
to meet expectations.
So let's get to this story right here. Corey C. Tippett, age 18, called police to report the theft of personal property. When you're the victim of a burglary, the first step you do is report it to the police, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Corey did. The next step is to be able to verify and identify your property, right?
Yeah.
Corey could do that. It seems that our boy had called the police on Monday of last week after he returned home and found that somebody had broken a window. They got cut on the glass. They crawled into his house. In most burglaries, the victim knows the perpetrator, and so it was with this case. Corey C. suspected a guy, and he knew the guy, and in fact had spoken to him on the phone earlier that day. Mr. Tippett, again age 18, gave police the man's name, and the officers found him. Richard W. Height, he's age 23. He was at his mother's home in Provo. I'm guessing in the basement. I'm just guessing. He had a cut on his arm and blood-soaked pants. Police recovered 6 ounces of marijuana at the home.
Oh, my gosh.
Turns out that the theft that Corey reported was for a quarter pound of marijuana that he was selling. The only thing that was missing, though, was the quarter pound of marijuana. Again, that he was selling. And he went down to the police station and identified the pot.
Oh, my gosh.
As his quarter pound, again, that he was selling. So he reached out to this guy early in the day, tried to sell him some marijuana. And the guy said, I don't know. Let me think about it. And then he later went to his house, broke in, stole it. The guy called the police and said, hey, this guy stole my marijuana.
What an idiot.
So they both get to sit in jail now. So that's not
Oh, my
good.
goodness.
Why would you do that? Then again, I suppose if you're doing things like that, you probably don't think all the way through on every action that you make. You know. So
There are no words. I don't
Yeah.
even know where to go with this
I
one.
don't
I
really
think this
know.
story kind of speaks for itself.
it kind of does. So what are you going to add to this wonderful bonus break? Why is it I have to do all the heavy lifting around here?
I'm just here for comic relief.
That's what it is. I thought it was you were the eye candy and everybody got to...
And I'm eye candy on the radio.
I don't know how that works, but yes, that's exactly. It's funny because we have people who reached out that wanted to see more photos of Heidi. I'm like, okay. Can I be in some of these photos?
You had people reach out wanted pictures of both of us, not of just me.
I'm pretty sure. I read through the lines.
I don't
Pretty
think
sure it's
so.
you that they want the photos
No.
of. So anyway, we got that going for us, which is nice. All right. Thanks for listening. It was a fun day. We had Tuesdays with Charlie today. Tomorrow, what are we going to talk about? You know what? I don't even know. So I guess I can't really tell you.
It'll be a surprise.
It's a surprise for all of us. I will muster my way through it one way or another. Thanks for listening to the podcast.